SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the groove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on a Baseball Friday, Sports Talk Mississippi in the Pearl River Resort Studio. I'm Michael Borky alongside Will East. So glad that you guys have chosen to make our show a part of your day. And I mean, the news just broke 2 minutes ago, although none of you should be surprised by it. Josh Hubbard officially announces he's returning to Mississippi State. That was never a thing that was going to... There was never going to be a different result than that. He was not going to enter the transfer portal. As we've told you many times, it's just a fact of the matter. The NBA is not in his immediate future. And so where else was he going to go? But when you get the announcement, it is good. We joke sometimes on this show where a player announces that he's returning to school. You have a lot of, where else was he going to go? The NFL? No, obviously not. Of course he's coming back to school. In this case, though, Josh Hubbard has had many, many suitors. And you might be wondering, wait, he never hit the portal. Well, we've talked about tampering a lot. He has been tampered with by the big brands in college basketball, and each year Mississippi State has fought them off to maintain his status on their roster, and yet again he is back. So that is the breaking news of the day anyway, but we've got a lot to get to.
That's something rare.
I know, right? A player sticking around for
his entire career at one school?
But it's the thing that we're talking about. It's... At first, it was like an anecdotal observation. Now I think it's just legit. Guys that are from the state in which they choose to play college are less likely to leave. If Josh Hubbard was from, I don't know, Jacksonville, Florida, you think he's still that state? If Caleb Cunningham was from Tampa, would he still be at Ole Miss? Would he have waited his turn for years before? Now they expect big things from him this year, but would a five-star receiver have waited his turn for as long as Caleb Cunningham has waited his turn had he not been from Mississippi? No. So Hubbard is one of those cases where if he was from somewhere else, he may have gone to Kentucky. He may have gone somewhere where there's no loyalty. But obviously he's getting paid a whole heck of a lot of money. I think. I could be wrong. Somebody at Mississippi State can correct me if I'm wrong. He will again be the highest paid athlete on that campus. He was last year. So he's getting paid, but you don't think Kentucky would have paid him too? Kentucky certainly tried. But yeah, guys like him are more likely to stay at in-state schools. That's why high school recruiting still matters. Another example of that right there. Sports Talk Mississippi. We've got, somebody says Cunningham waited one season and he got there in the summer. But again, guys like him do not wait anymore. And he did. He did.
I mean, what was it in basketball last year? Wasn't there just one senior in the entire SEC that had spent his career at one single school? That was Mississippi State. I can't remember the player's name, but it's a rare commodity these days for a player to it just doesn't happen. Kids don't wait around. They go somewhere else. A lot of times they go to the highest bidder. But yeah, I think the Mississippi thing played probably a factor in this.
There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt. And I mean, you heard it from Deuce Alexander. Now, he's not a Mississippi guy, but it's another concept. that is getting lost on some players anyway, where's home? And what I mean by home is when you graduate, when you're done playing ball, where can you fall back on? Who can you lean on in your professional career off the field? And again, Alexander was asked about that, and part of it was, hey, why did you choose to stay after your head coach left? What about Ole Miss, inspired you to stay? And that was part of his answer was, I want to leave a legacy where I am. And so moving forward in his life, whenever he's done playing football, he's got a base of people that he can lean on as, help in his professional life. His name's escaping me. Quinn Ewers at Texas, when he was asked, why'd you go in the draft? You weren't a high draft prospect. He got picked in the 7th round. Why didn't you hit the transfer portal, get a few $1 million and go somewhere else? And he said, because I want to be Quinn Ewers, the former Texas quarterback. Not Quinn Ewers, the former Texas quarterback who also transferred to Cincinnati to play one more year, because where's home? Quinn Ewers, for the rest of his life, can go back to Texas, and that name means something. And guys forget that. Not to pick on a particular player, but what happens if TJ Daugherty is just okay for LSU this year? If he's just okay. Doesn't stand out at all, because that's kind of what he is as a player anyway. He's just okay. Played a lot of snaps for Ole Miss by default. He's not a great linebacker. I don't think he's capable of leaving a mark in 1 year at a place where he's like a legend forever. So when he has an okay year, where's home? Is it Oxford? No. Is it Clemson? No. Is anybody at LSU going to give a rip if an average linebacker there for one? Where's home for a guy like that? Where is a legacy left behind? And a lot of these guys don't think like that. Now, some of them do. Josh Hubbard does. Kelly Jones does. Isaac Smith does. William Eccles does. Those guys. And down the road, they'll have something to lean on. I mean, Deuce McAllister still benefits from being former Ole Miss running back Deuce McAllister.
Oh, yeah.
There's
every program has them.
I know of a former Ole Miss player. He was okay. He was an okay player. Sells real estate in Memphis. And, man, he does well.
Yeah.
Because former Ole Miss football player sold me my house. Yeah. He does well. And a lot of guys don't think about that either.
Here's the stat there from Isaac Trotter, the one that I was mentioning. There are only 22 high major scholarship players who will celebrate senior night this week, having played at just one place. Mississippi State's Sean Jones Jr. is the only SEC senior to finish where he started.
Amazing. In basketball, you've got so much more movement. It's unbelievable. The percentage of your roster that moves after every season is so much higher in basketball than it is in football. Because, like you said the other day, if 5 basketball players leave, there's your whole starting 5. They're gone. If 5 football players leave, you celebrate it.
Yeah.
You know? Somebody says, Lane Kiffin offered Cunningham a fat bag. Yeah, he offered. I mean, guys, this isn't. Hey, Dad and I have talked about this before, and there were some people on the text line that chose not to believe he and I for some reason. I don't know why. Lane Kiffin offered William Eccles a lot of money. Deuce Alexander, a lot of money. Kejuan Lacey, a lot of money. And so on, and so on, and so on. He tried to get every decent player from Ole Miss to follow him to LSU. FaceTimed him in the final hour, showing them, hey, here's the car that you'll get if you come here. That did happen. And the fact that they were able to fight that off in the final hour was really impressive.
It plays into coaching decisions nowadays.
Absolutely, it does.
I mean, look at Auburn. They hired that guy because, he could bring some players with him.
He brought his quarterback with him.
Yep.
Now, I think they're going to stink. I don't know if Hey Dad agrees with me in that case, but somebody says Lane Kiffin, greatest coach in Ole Miss history, legacy with a laughing emoji. No, he's not the greatest. He's not the greatest. Second best, though. He never won a national title. Modern history, best coach in modern Ole Miss history. But no, he never won a title. But modern history, yeah. I mean, how could you disagree with that? So he says if he doesn't cause the Arkansas fumble, does he have any key plays? That's an interesting way to look at that. Daugherty did cause the Arkansas fumble.
He saved that game. The Razorbacks were about to score.
He would be great if his role was 30 snaps a game. That's a perfect role for a guy like him. Problem is, because of last year, they didn't have the funds available to build defensively that they did this past season, which is why I think the quality of linebacker that they added in the portal this time around versus last year is quite apparent. But he had to play 80 snaps a game. And that's not what his role needs to be. If he's an 80 snap per game guy at LSU, Blake Baker's defense is in trouble. Sports Talk Mississippi. Brad Henderson going to join us next. All-time hits leader at Ole Miss. He's on the Ole Miss Radio Network. And we'll preview the Tennessee series with him when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
It's time to get real. Real sports talk for Mississippi. It's time for you to get real with it. Sports Talk Mississippi continues on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We go to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau, the all-time hits leader in Ole Miss baseball history. Also, we'll be on the radio here in a little while. So the game will start at 5:30, so his broadcast will start at 5 o'clock. Brad, you're going to disrupt my show, man. What's wrong with you?
Hey, we got to do it when we got to do it, right?
So let's start with what happened earlier this week, though. So Ole Miss obviously got a ton of momentum right now. You have a sweep over LSU after going to Gainesville and winning 2. But then Southern Miss, a team that beats Ole Miss earlier this season, in which Ole Miss only scored 1 run in that game. And, I mean, Ole Miss just kind of whooped them on Tuesday night.
Well, they played well. There's no doubt about it. And, to get 10 runs on 11 hits, the offense is finally starting to catch up with kind of what we've seen on the mound, right? I think we've pretty much pitched it well the entire season, but the bat's starting to come alive. You've seen some new guys now really contribute, sits in the bottom of that order with Owen Pano and Fed starting to heat up. And Foley's hitting you a big homer every now and then. So starting to click on all cylinders, but be a big test this weekend here in Knoxville.
So Owen Pano is so interesting because he's still young, but there's so much known about him with his talent and what was expected of him coming in, and just for whatever reason didn't click right away. Why do you think it's clicking now?
He just has a calmness about him now, and maybe it was the pressure of following Gonzo or falling in those line of great shortstops that have played at Ole Miss. I think it got to him in year 1. And I think this year he's just been more relaxed. And when I say this year, I really just mean the last month. Something's clicked. I told Coach Clement the other day, about a week ago, I said, man, even his takes right now, he just looks confident. It's a complete 180 from what we've seen in the past from Owen. But obviously it's a sign that everybody's been waiting on. He's an uber talented kid. And I just think the game has kind of slowed down for him. And when it does that, the sky's the limit.
And he's moved up in that order as well, batting 6th tonight out of the DH spot. What about Golden in left? That's a guy that I don't – maybe it was just a me problem. I don't remember hearing much talk about him going into the season, in part because Pacella was there. But what do we need to know about the young left fielder?
Well, I actually think Cannon Golden may have led us in hitting in the fall. So they knew the talent was there, and I think they just thought he needs to get some innings under his belt simply because he was a two-sport athlete in high school. He was a linebacker, and so he didn't really get to focus on baseball year-round. And so they knew it was going to take him a little bit of time to adjust at the college level. And when he's gotten some opportunities, he's made the most of them. And it started at Florida a couple of weeks ago, where he just kind of banged it around the yard. And he's a super talented guy, can really, really run. But he's going to be one of those that is just going to continue to get better the more games he gets to play.
Every ballpark is different. This one that Ole Miss is playing in this weekend is known for being friendly to the power hitters, to put it nicely. Becerra and Utermark have got to be, licking their chops about this place. But how, as a hitter, do you look at a place like that and do they need to kind of stop themselves from trying to hit every ball over the fence because the park is known for that? What's the psychology about being a power hitter in a hitter's park like this one this weekend in Knoxville?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, and for some reason I kind of thought you were going to ask that, and that's the hardest thing as a hitter, to know you can hit the ball out of any ballpark, so there's no need to swing any harder here. It's not about hitting one 480 when you normally hit them 400, and so I think they're going to have to be patient and remain on schedule and just try and get the back barrel there when they get their pitch. But it is definitely a hitter's ballpark. I remember we came down here, I guess it was 2 years ago, and Braden Randall hit 2 home runs in one game. And those were the only 2 he hit all year. And so we knew then that the ball would absolutely fly here. And it does. But you can't get over anxious and try and hit home runs. You just got to try and put a good swing on it.
And whatever little mini slump Becerra was in, it appears that he has hit himself right out of it.
Yeah, 4 hits against Southern Miss on Tuesday. That was good to see. But he's just a confident guy. And again, talking to Coach Clem before the season, he didn't have a great fall, and he didn't have a great spring leading up to the season. But Clem told me, he said, this dude's going to hit. He thinks he can hit. He knows he can hit. And so guys that are kind of fueled that way, kind of wired that way, they don't stay in a quote-unquote slump very long. It was good to see him break out this past week against Southern Miss.
There's been a lot of talk about approach and things like that with this offense. Clement was interviewed earlier this week and talked about that, how they've made some adjustments. From your perspective, what are the adjustments that they have made with this offense and plate approach in order to be more productive?
Well, I think they're being a little bit more aggressive early against the fastball. I think we've seen that quite a bit more. And they've been willing to go the other way, shoot the ball the other way, especially with 2 strikes. Now, the big guys, they're still going to punch out some, and obviously we're going to face a big right-hander tonight that strikes a lot of guys out. But again, when it was going bad that week or two, it's contagious. And all it needed was 1 or 2 guys to kind of flip the script. We went 20 scoreless innings and then scored the 5 runs in Florida there in the 9th in Game 3 to win that game, and it's been a totally different team. And they just kind of feed off each other, and you hopefully they've got it going in the right direction and continue that path forward.
Walker Hooks, I saw a stat earlier, leads the SEC in chase percentage at 39% of his pitches at chase percentage. What is that?
I saw that, just the swing and miss and the swing and miss percentage. But, I did a radio show Monday, and somebody asked me over this last 2-week stretch who's been the MVP, and I had to think about it for about 10 seconds. And I said, no doubt it's Walker Hooks. And that was hard for me to say because I'm an offensive guy, and I don't really like giving any pitchers any credit, But, over the last 6 games, we've gone 5-6 in the league, and he didn't pitch in all 6 of those games, but he's got a win and 3 saves. So he's just been a huge piece there on the back end for Joel Mangrum and Mike Bianco. And, yeah, and I've stood with that. He's been the MVP the last 2 weeks, and, boy, it's nice to know you got him there in the back to finish games off.
What is the scouting report on Tennessee for the Ole Miss fan listening that's getting ready to watch this series and this game coming up tonight? What do they need to expect from the Vols?
Yeah, obviously they're going to hit some balls out of the yard. If you put both the lineups, both the rosters side by side, they're almost identical. I mean, they're hitting, 265, Ole Miss 260. you start looking at ERAs. They're similar. And so ultimately it comes down really what we talk about all the time, Borky, and in league play, especially on the road, who can pitch, who can defend, and who can get the timely hit, especially with two strikes. But you're going to see two guys tonight that strike a bunch of people out. So if you do get that walk or that error or that double, who's going to come up and get the big hit for you and win you the ball game. Two really good teams, obviously coming off two of their best weekends. Obviously Tennessee and Starkville last weekend, going down there and sweeping them, and Ole Miss being able to sweep LSU at home. Both teams riding a lot of momentum.
What is up with Tennessee? Losing that series to LSU and then turning around and sweeping Mississippi State. Which team is Tennessee?
Well, I guess we'll find out here in a couple of hours. This is a Tennessee team that didn't win a series, their first four. And then they go into Starkville and figured something out and played good baseball. So they're riding high. Weather's warming up here in the Smokies. And obviously I expect a good crowd tonight. And so it'll be a battle for the Rebels.
We really appreciate your time on these Fridays, and have a good call tonight. We'll be listening.
Thank you, man. Enjoy your weekend.
That's Brad Henderson, all-time hits leader at Ole Miss, and the color analyst on the Baseball Radio Network on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. A newly renovated Leslie Nelson Stadium, as Matt Moscona called it a couple weeks ago, which still makes me laugh.
Wait, what's the actual name of the stadium?
Lindsey Nelson.
It's Lindsey. They shouldn't name it after Naked Gun star.
Because, the park's a joke and he's a comedic actor. And I know our audience doesn't love Matt Moscona lately, but he was making me laugh a couple weeks ago calling it that. So,
pretty funny.
Good stuff there. Game coming up again at 5:30. You might lose us. If you are listening right now, you might lose us. So if you do, and you want to keep listening to us before the baseball game begins, SuperTalk.fm is the website. Download the SuperTalk app. You can listen, watch live, even if the station in your area switches over to baseball. We'll be right back in the Pearl River Resort Studio, Sports Talk Mississippi. Stick around.
From the Sea, your number one for sports talk.
Anyone? Come on, don't be shy.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Bingo, man, bingo.
Super Talk Mississippi.
I meant to play that for Brad.
Oh, man, every time I hear it, I think of the Vanderbilt fraternity. What's next? What's next? Those guys deserve the football that they're getting, by the way. I think Vanderbilt's here to, quote-unquote, stay. They're not winning 10 games every year, but there's more to what Vanderbilt is doing under Clark Lee than Diego Pavia. Defensively, they're tough. They're recruiting well. I mean, the quarterback that's going to start for them this year, consensus 5-star, beat out Kirby Smart to sign him. I mean, there are things that are happening at Vanderbilt right now. They just renovated their stadium. Looks still a little clunky, but much better.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a game there?
I have not been to a game there, but I stayed at the hotel that overlooks it one time, and this is years before they renovated it. It didn't look that bad,
The choke points are a problem. So it's a 40,000-seat stadium, but like the tunnels are tiny and like the logistics around it. It took me the longest to get into Vanderbilt Stadium than any stadium I've ever been to in college football.
Really?
It was nuts how long it took. Because, I mean, there was just so few
old stadiums that,
old stadium, just so few places to enter. I think the little ticket reader was even malfunctioning. You remember back in the day when they'd give you a paper ticket and you'd go up to the gate and they'd just tear off the thing and let you in. Now they have a phone that's connected to an internet that's not working very well, and they're having to sit there and try to scan your phone.
Click. Oh, there we go.
And it doesn't work. And your team would win a big game, and those tickets that you still have, you get home, and my dad did this. I've got a wall full of every game that we would go to. He would keep the tickets and buy a program or something. He would frame them. Like the important games, not all the Furman games, although I do have a couple of those too. But when we would go to a big college football stadium, he would save the tickets and put them in a frame for me. Mm-hmm. I've got some from Michigan Stadium, all this stuff. Now, I hope you have a screenshot of your QR code. Give me the paper tickets. I want things to be the way they used to be. Tonight, baseball. Obviously, Ole Miss, Tennessee starting at 5:30. We'll put it on and react to it. From Lindsey Nelson. Mississippi State's at South Carolina. That game tonight will get started at 6 o'clock. The goals for each of them, Ole Miss, if you want to host, you don't have to go to Knoxville and win the series. You would like to. That would be great. But if you come back with one, you're okay. You're not throwing a parade, but if you go up there and you get one, you're still in striking distance to host. You have home regionals, home series upcoming. You're fine. If you don't get swept on the road, you're fine. And you made up for the state sweep by sweeping LSU last weekend. For Mississippi State, considering the quality of opponent, if you want to get back into the hosting conversation, you have at least got to get two. And, if you want to flip the feeling, the narrative, it would serve you well to come back with three. And that's not fair in conference play. A team better go on the road and sweep a series. But this South Carolina team, paired with what you've been the last couple of weeks, if you want to host and get back in, not just host, get back into the national seed conversation, you got to come back with three this weekend in Columbia if you want that to turn into your reality again.
Whoop up on the lesser opponents and hold your own with the others.
Take advantage this weekend. Mississippi State needs to. Auburn in Florida, in Gainesville, Vanderbilt, Kentucky in Lexington. Missouri, Oklahoma, if a tree falls series this week. And Oklahoma, the top 15 team, but they don't have the support. And obviously it's Missouri, God bless them. They're 3-12 in the SEC. Part of me wonders if they should fold baseball. I know that's a really harsh thing to say, but they don't care as a fan base. They're not trying to win either. And you're in a league where everybody else is. At what point do you just decide, this is a money loser. Let's just cut our losses and just be done with baseball. They're never going to win in their current investment platform, in the current state of the league. And I mean never going to win unless they dramatically change their investment. Are they going to? No. So cut your losses. I would consider that if I were them. If Mississippi State or Ole Miss cut baseball, there'd be a revolt. If Missouri cut baseball, moms and dads would be upset. But, you guys have seen their home crowds when SEC teams come to town that are ranked top 10, top 5 teams. There's 150 people at these games.
So their winning percentage right now is they're a little bit above 500. 20-17 overall.
Yeah, and they got off to a pretty good. They got off to a pretty good start this year.
That's a great start this year because Carrick Jackson's winning percentage at Missouri in his tenure, .355. Not good.
And they don't. There's no coach that could come in and win with what they're currently putting into it. None. Because the 15 other teams in the league are trying. Alabama's trying now, hard. A&M tries, obviously. South Carolina acts like they're not trying, but they have a baseball tradition. They just make pathetic hire after pathetic hire. Everybody in this league efforts winning in baseball but you. Give it up. I don't know.
The best finish they've had, if I'm looking at this correctly, this is back when they had East-West, but is 4th in the East back in 2019.
Yeah, and that's pre NIL.
Yeah.
Now the baseball players are getting paid.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Didn't they go to Omaha a while ago? I should know that off the top of my head, but haven't they been in the College World Series?
They went in, let's see. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. Yep, it was 1964.
There you go. My dad was 2.
They did win a regional in 2006.
Look at that.
So that's probably what you're thinking about.
Good on them. Who could forget? I certainly couldn't forget. So he says Vandy's following the Ole Miss lead on transfer/NIL, but they have tons more money and Nashville. Here's the thing, though. This is why I keep pushing back on. It's like with Florida. You'll have people say Florida's a much better job than Ole Miss. They have so much more money. Hey, Dad says that, and I push back every time. If they have so much more money, where is it? Where is it? Well, their alumni base is bigger. Their stadium's bigger. Okay, but where? If there is so much more money, where is it? Because they are not buying number one classes. You're not just – Summerall talks about it, and I think he's going to win there. I think he's a rock star. But you can't just be Florida and just snap your fingers and win in this era. They have all this money. Where is it? Well, Vanderbilt, I assume per capita, has a much wealthier fan base or alumni base than Ole Miss per capita. But if those people don't care about football, they're not going to give their money to football. The guy that went to Vanderbilt because it's a great education and then moved to New York to work for some, financial firm who never stepped foot inside their football stadium is not going to give money to pay the players. But the guy from Madison that joined a fraternity and didn't miss a football, basketball, or baseball game and then started a business back in town is like, heck yeah, I'm going to give money to the football players. Mm-hmm. So it's not about how much money that your alumni base has. It's how much money your alumni base is willing to give to your football team. And those are two different things. And I do agree with your follow-up. Vanderbilt they've started to rally around football some. But even still, if you compared their NIL budget, I'd bet a lot of money that their NIL budget is still smaller than that of Ole Miss's, for example. There's just not enough of them that are going to buy the players. They did do a great job with that stadium, though. Put a lot of money into that. And they are investing in football roster. I just don't think it's at the scale.
You can invest in a football roster and still not win. That isn't automatically. Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
That doesn't automatically translate to wins. You got to have everything going.
Look at Texas. What do you think Texas is spending on their roster to miss the playoff?
If Sark disappoints this year, you think he'll be gone?
Gone.
If they have let's say they have a repeat performance of last year.
Gone. There was a conversation, some talk that, I know that Diana Rossini's reporting is not exactly looked at as credible at the moment. But there was some stuff about him last year, about looking to get out because he anticipates.
He was looking to get out?
She reported that he was engaged or trying to engage with NFL jobs. But again, at the moment, her reporting is called into question. Yeah. But yeah. But with what they're putting into football, it's Texas, man. If they go 9-3 again, see ya. See ya. They might give him the, hey, find a new job option. But if he doesn't make the playoff again with Arch Manning, the 2 years of starting Arch Manning, he doesn't make the playoff? I don't know. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back in just a bit.
Don't get better. From the Venable Talk Mississippi.
Here we go.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. On this Friday, Michael Borky and Will East with you. Somebody asked, would Kiffin leave to go to Texas? Would you wake up tomorrow morning? Yeah, of course you would. It's a better job. It's arguably the best job in college football, although a lot of unrealization in that. But talent-rich state, oil money. You know, he loves stadium size. They've got that. Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. Another one on the text line. Did anyone hear of who won the student section of the year? I have no idea. What is it, the Taco Bell student section thing?
Yeah, let me look it up.
Do they ever actually announce that? I do love when they panned to Miami student section and there was no student. I mean, it was just a bunch of middle-aged men with jerseys on. These guys are a little old.
I don't see it.
Do you think I could get an NIL deal for Missouri? I'm 41, can still hit 90 sometimes. No, good players can't get NIL deals from Missouri. You wouldn't get anything. You'd get your scholarship, and it'd be great.
There's nothing on it.
Well, what if they're laundering money?
Wait, this says Oregon.
Oregon won?
Yeah, Oregon.
Oh, good for them.
But that's according to Oregon football, so I guess, yeah.
Tulane Stadium's just like Vandy's with choke points. I heard that. Was a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Because they don't get crowds like the one that they had there. Such a cool part of town, though.
By the time everybody got to their seat, it was almost like the second quarter or something.
Will Hall being the coach there is just fascinating. Fascinating deal.
Because Tulane has a few advantages that other teams in that conference don't, as I understand.
They do have some highly motivated people that are giving them more money than other AAC teams generally have. They have more resources at his disposal.
Memphis kind of had the same thing.
Memphis has that, yeah. Because of FedEx, who showed up on their jerseys, by the way. Yeah. Imagine that. But even still, there's going to be that parallel between Will Hall and what Blake Anderson in Southern Miss does moving forward. And maybe it's not fair, but Will Hall was awful at Southern Miss. I mean, there's no other way around it. Look at his record. You are what your record says that you are. And he was awful at Southern Miss. What if he goes to Tulane and wins a lot? You're going to wonder, was it a me problem then? And quite frankly, for Mississippi State, you're going to look at what John Summerall does at Florida and what he did at Tulane and directly compare that to Jeff Lebby. Because Summerall was in Mississippi State, if you believe Haydad's word, which you should, there was an opportunity to hire him, but there were some contract things that he wanted that understandably at the time Mississippi State did not give him. But he won at Tulane, took them to the playoff. And if he goes to Florida and wins and you flounder a bit, you're going to look back and think, John Summerall should have gotten whatever he asked for in that because of what Jeff Lebby's done. There's a side-by-side comparison there to be made. If Ole Miss would have had a real coaching search, you would have done this if there would have been another candidate. They went with Pete Golding. That was really the only option at the time that they could have gone with, unless they wanted to just kind of blow up the program and start over. If they tried to go outside hire, who knows what would have happened? Because Pete and that staff would have had to coach through the playoff, and then an entirely new coach. It would have been total discombobulation, and I don't know if they would have had the same roster retention with Alex Galesh or whoever they could have hired.
Remember, all those candidates came off the board that Sunday morning.
Pretty quickly. I mean,
Summerall was announced at Florida, and like an hour later, maybe even less than that, Galesh was announced at
once Summerall in Florida was done, before it was formally done, but once that was done, there was no other option, Pete Golding.
Yeah.
That's what you had to do. Because, I mean, think about it, Ole Miss fans right now. Who would you be more excited? Would you be more excited if Alex Galesh was leading your team into this season or Pete Golding? So if you're going to criticize Keith Carter for not running a real search, I mean, Galesh did nice things at USF this past season. He's not like a super inspiring guy to listen to. He doesn't, to Hugh Freeze's credit, Alex Galesh cannot do what Hugh Freeze did in the Ford Center with that introductory press conference rah-rah speech. You know, I mean, he was a great salesman. Galesh is not that. So you would have had this situation go down, and I think you would have lost more players than you did.
When Galesh talks, does he play this in the background? Does he go, "We must destroy opponents. Mother Auburn will rise again."
Oh, man. More sports talk after the news.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Hey, it's go time. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Well, say something.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Number 2, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borky and Will East with you on this Friday. It's a baseball Friday. Ole Miss getting started at 5:30. Mississippi State at 6 o'clock. Another PSA. You might lose us. In fact, I think all of you are going to lose us at one point during the show if you're listening on terrestrial radio anyway. Download the SuperTalk app on your phone. It's free. It's also small. And what I mean by small, it doesn't take up a whole lot of your storage. And if you're like me, if you have like 6,000 pictures and videos of your children on your phone, you need the storage space. The SuperTalk app does not take up much of it at all, and it functions beautifully. So download that or watch and listen on supertalk.fm so you don't miss a second. We're so glad that you guys are with us. Coming up, you've got an update on the Week 0 thing we talked about earlier this week. Sounds like it's going to happen. You've got a stadium project situation unfolding I'll tell you about. Also, Sean Payton's doing Hindsight is 2020, and it drives me crazy. So we will talk about that, read some more of your messages and more. That's what's coming up on Sports Talk. And what's up on Sports Talk is brought to you by our friends at Ag Up. I don't know if you guys have looked at the weather this weekend. We got some rain incoming. It's been a little bit dry, but the rain's going to come, and you know what that means? Your grass is going to grow. And you don't want to be stuck hours in your yard with a push mower or dealing with your hunting land or your property with a lesser piece of equipment. Go to Ag Up. They will take care of you. The Spring Tractor Blowout Sale is what they're calling it. Haydad says it was my idea. I don't remember coming up with it, but that's what they're calling it. Right now, you can get a John Deere 3025E with a loader for just $365 per month. Most importantly, 0% financing for 84 months. That's incredible if you think about it, because it literally cannot be a better deal than 0% financing. If you've been thinking about upgrading your equipment, getting your first tractor, or if you're just a weekend guy with a yard like me, they've got you at Ag Up. 15 locations. Check them out at agup.com. AGUP.com. So, Week 0. The FBS Oversight Committee, yes, that's a real thing. We've got 5 dozen committees at the NCAA, has recommended standardizing. This is what the release says, okay? This is, I don't talk like this. They've recommended standardizing the first contest date in the sport and eliminating all exceptions beginning with the 2027 season. The season would begin on the Thursday of Week 0 and end the week of Thanksgiving. So essentially doing what they do in the off years when the season starts, when the calendar says August, you get 2 bye weeks. That's essentially what they're proposing, just making Week 0 be Week 1. I don't know why they're still calling it week 0. That makes no sense at all.
Week 0 is week 1.
If you're moving the start date up, it's week 1 now. But the reason that they have to do this is because you have to apply to play on week 0. You have to be granted the privilege to play on week 0. Teams aren't just deciding to move their schedule up and just doing it for the heck of it. You have to get an exception in order to play a game in that week. So this would make that week just be week 1. Yeah.
You gotta fill out some paperwork?
It's some kind of process, to get approved to play in week 0. Not every team can just do it.
College football.
It is stupid.
It is so dumb.
Why did we ever let the NCAA tell us when we can play games? Why was that ever the thing?
So Alabama wants to play Florida State, and they're like, you got to fill out some paperwork on that, guys.
You got to ask the NCAA for permission to do.
You have to ask them for. Do they ever say no?
I don't know if most teams don't want to. But yeah, you have to ask the NCAA for permission in order to do that. But it sounds like that's going to be done. I mean, that's what everybody wants. And look, the 2 bye weeks serves the pretend moral purpose, and it also serves what I think is better for entertainment. The pretend moral purpose is 2 bye weeks creates a healthier team, player safety, right? You get more time off. It's good for their bodies, etc. But also, I would rather have 14 regular season weeks than 13. I mean, just sometimes you'll have a weekend that is a little bit lacking in games, but it's college football. Has there ever been a truly awful weekend of college football where when the day ended you thought there was nothing good that happened today? Nope. If you're one of the guys that only watches your team, sure, right? When the Citadel game happens, you didn't have a great day that day. But there's never been a truly bad day of college football. So that's coming. I don't hate it. In fact, I kind of like it. I just hope that this also turns into smarter playoff scheduling. But week 0 going to be week 1 now.
But it's not official yet.
Not official yet, but it seems like everybody involved wants it to be.
For the proposal to become official, the Division I cabinet.
So there's another committee for you.
It still has to adopt the legislation. Whenever the word legislation is involved, that's red tape.
Especially when you have to go through one committee to go through another committee.
Okay, all right. They not only have a cabinet, they also have a legislative body of some sort. So all kinds of fun bureaucracy going on with the NCAA.
And it's all about starting college football a week sooner. That's what this is.
It's a simple thing. It's not that difficult.
It should just be like a quick meeting, tap, tap, tap. All right, yeah, we'll play week 0 next year. Done. I did see there's a couple of college football writers, and then everybody's favorite, Dan Wolken. I guess it was 4 years ago. He said that nobody's willing to have the conversation about how in a few years playing games in September will be untenable because it will be so much more hot that we can't do it. And people have been bringing that back up as like a ha-ha, what an idiot type thing. But I've seen a couple college football writers say, actually, he's right, and this move to week 0 is dangerous and those kind of things. And, I mean, maybe I'm just a dumb talking head in Mississippi. What is the difference in terms of heat between August 24th and September 1st? What's the difference? I can't believe we're going to put fan. I mean, what's a little heat stroke between friends in order to make more money? What's the difference between August 24th and September 1st in the South? Because all of you listening live in the South, except for Marty in Portland. But you used to live in the South, Marty. What's the difference? There is no difference. It's still hot as you know what. And if you don't hydrate the right way, if you don't stay in the shade, you risk heat stroke. That is true in 2026, and that was true in 1926 also. What's the difference?
He deleted that tweet.
Yeah, he did. Or he might have blocked you. I'm blocked now.
Oh, here it is. This is a picture of it. He said, quote, I also think in 10 to 15 years, playing football in August and September is going to be untenable, but nobody wants to say that out loud.
Here's why nobody wants to say that out loud, because it's dumb. Maybe that's why. Who said, I'm not smart like this, who said the better to stay silent and people think you're an idiot than open your mouth and remove all doubt? Who said that?
I don't know, but very true.
Marty says no difference even here in Portland. I knew you were out there listening, Marty. Yeah, exactly. I mean, give me a break.
Dan in Hattiesburg said, when will we get a week negative one?
That's what we should start calling it. I mean, we are hard in the movement of it's not fall camp, it's training camp, because fall camp doesn't happen in the fall. So, yeah, we'll call it week -1. Mark Twain is who said it. Okay. Here's our text line in a nutshell. Back-to-back messages. Mark Twain, Robert Einstein.
Wait.
I don't think it's Robert Einstein. But apparently it was Mark Twain that said some version of what I said.
Robert Einstein is a cousin of Albert Einstein.
What did he do?
Oh, he's probably smart, too.
Was he his disappointing cousin?
Well, I mean, when your cousin is Albert Einstein, the people that everyone associates with genius, it's only downhill from there.
He's probably the guy that started using asbestos in all building material. Man. Simmons says, I think listening while hitting balls on the range is the best way to listen. Flex on us on this Friday afternoon.
Drink one for me.
No kidding. Also, the NFL plays in August. Exactly. I mean, the World Cup plays in outdoor stadiums in the summer. Now, here in the States, they're going to play in a lot of indoor ones, too. But youth baseball plays all summer long. They survive, but come on. Performative outrage is what that is. Week 0, going to be the new week 1. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
In the Venable Glass.
Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
It's time for more Sports Talk Mississippi.
Finally.
On SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk app, and at supertalk.fm.
Maybe someday I'll be strong.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We're in the Pearl River Resort studio. We're going to get a bit of a cool down this weekend, so you're probably going to want to take advantage of the temperatures if you're a golfer out there. Dancing Rabbit right there on the property. You can stay on the property, play 2 championship-level 18-hole courses. Of course, there's the sports book at Timeout Lounge as well, the gaming floor. You can eat good, you can relax, you can have a staycation, as Rebecca Turner calls it, right here in the state of Mississippi at the Pearl River Resort. So glad that you guys are with us. I mentioned the stadium thing, and it's a story out of Nebraska, but I'll loop it local. So Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, the place that's sold out every game for a few decades, even though that's definitely not true, and they've had boosters buy up remaining tickets just to keep the sellout streak going. But it's a big, nice stadium, but it's in need of an update, and they're going to put $600 million into renovating one of the end zones. I'm kind of into stadium architecture, and their end zones are very flat and really, there's many, many rows, we'll put it that way, and they're really flat. So the back row is so far from the field, horrible seats, and so they're going to tear it down and actually build up a couple sections and make it look nice. But it's on the docket at the Board of Regents, and it'll get approved, and it's a $600 million project. It is wild to me that anybody is willing to take on a $600 million project in this era. I mean, shouldn't Shouldn't your first option, if you're Nebraska, be, hey, go to Florida and buy a linebacker? Get me a few 5-stars before you start renovating my stadium. But that, that's what they're doing, whatever. But it does remind me of what Ole Miss is doing with their stadium project, mini expansion, but it's I guess an expansion project is what you call it. We'll get
renovation too.
Renovation,
jumbotrons, all that kind of stuff.
And we'll get more details of that. I think next month is when they're planning on announcing who won the bid and what the exact plan is and stuff like that. The plan is to have Keith Carter sit down with us at some point and kind of talk us through it and all that. But the difference between what Nebraska's doing and what Ole Miss is doing is interesting. Because Nebraska's is a $600 million project that the money will have to come from somewhere. Ole Miss is not doing a capital campaign. They're not raising money. They are essentially leasing the property to the developer, and that's how it's going to get built. So they don't have to raise hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't have to ask you, the booster, the donor, the fan, to give more money on top of the money that you're already giving. They have, I think Tennessee has done something similar to this, but essentially that's what they're doing, is they are providing the property, which is the north end zone of the stadium and nearby, to the developer who is going to build based on the specs that Ole Miss is putting out there. And obviously they will get to benefit financially in part from that, but so will Ole Miss, as they're leasing the property. It's a partnership agreement and not a capital campaign. So when you don't have unlimited funds or oil money or whatever, that's a really creative way to enhance your stadium, which it needs it. Vaught Hemingway, I know you guys love Vaught Hemingway Stadium. It is a dump, comparatively speaking, to most of the major college football stadiums. It needs a lot of work. A lot of work. And previous administrations have done lipstick on pig type stuff instead of doing what needs to be done. I think what Ross Bjork did to the south end zone, there used to be the breezeway, and putting the clubs there, it was just all short-sighted. Every move has been short-sighted. This one is not. Finally, they've got people at Ole Miss that are not making short-sighted stadium decisions. But you need to maximize every dollar that you have right now in order to be competitive in the player payment space. You can't do a capital campaign and be competitive in that space. So doing it this way is really smart.
One, and then NIL became a thing. Right?
And Lane Kiffin, to his credit, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. Lane Kiffin didn't tell me this, nor did Keith Carter, but I think Lane Kiffin told him, hey, that's not important. Like, yeah, the stadium could be redone, but that's not as important as...
I thought stadium size was the end-all, be-all.
The stadium size in the Final Four teams, Ole Miss had the biggest stadium in the Final Four. It's almost like that doesn't matter. But interesting stuff there. That kind of triggered a thought that the way Ole Miss is doing it is not necessarily unique, but in this era, that's the way you got to get stuff done now, because I don't know if you could raise $600 million to renovate the stadium. Instead, you do it this way, and you can have your cake and eat it too, essentially.
Yeah, because that $600 million that Nebraska is going to have to raise, well, that depletes, I would imagine, the pool for, as you said, for players.
And I mean, you would think so, unless they just have $1 billion laying around. I don't know, but and look, Ole Miss just built a softball stadium, which, by the way, sidebar conversation. I think they built that softball stadium in part because hosting the SEC tournament. Well, now the SEC tournament is going to be played at a neutral site in a minor league baseball stadium. So I hope that is not the reason that Ole Miss put $30 million in, or whatever it was, into a softball stadium in order to host the conference tournament, because the conference tournament isn't going to campuses anymore. Which, that's a weird decision too. You're going to play softball in a minor league baseball park. That they've done it in this. I guess it's where the Trash Pandas play, over in Alabama. Is it Montgomery? Anyway, minor league baseball stadium in Alabama is where it has been awarded the SEC softball tournament. and they've had softball games in the stadium, it looks awful. Horrible. Because it's not built for softball. It's built for baseball, and obviously the field size are totally different. It looks terrible, but they probably needed it anyway. But if they did, in fact, Huntsville, thank you. But that sucks to finish your softball stadium, in part to host the SEC tournament, and then they don't move it from campus to campus anymore.
Yeah, crazy.
Weird stuff there.
Well, Nebraska's got to be the only team out there that is putting up this type of money to. I mean, that's $600 million.
That's a lot of money. Somebody's asking, so the developer pays the bill? I will get the exact answer from Keith Carter, but as I understand it, it's essentially leasing the property. I assume there's some kind of cost from Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But no, Ole Miss is not raising the money in a capital campaign to build the stadium improvement.
And nowadays, with more and more people staying home to watch the games on TV, it just doesn't make sense for teams to do these super big expansions. I mean, 10 years ago, that was the thing.
You got to make it comfortable.
Yeah,
that's we talked about it the other day.
Now it's suites. It's making the fan experience for those who do come.
Comfy seats, quick, easy concessions, fast bathroom lines. That needs to be your goal with stadium projects now. Make the people comfortable when they go there. And Vaught Hemingway is going to expand by a few thousand seats.
Yeah, you change out the jumbotrons,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which. Not a big expansion, but I think Vaught Hemingway is kind of due for some more seats. You don't go from 64 to 84, but 64 with a stadium record of 67 to 70, 71, that's appropriate.
But on that Nebraska story, they said this. Officials said the stadium would host concerts and other events, which Vaught Hemingway and Davis Wade are also doing. They said that annual stadium revenue would increase 40% to an estimated $95 million.
It's crazy. Yeah, Auburn announced that they're going to do an end zone enhancement today. But what is the enhancement? Suites. That's all it is. It's suites. They're putting one on the field that they're calling the Kick Six Club, I think, Field Club. Yes. And then more suites above. I think that's the student section side. I'm probably wrong about that. But one of the end zones is they're putting suites at the bottom and then suites on top, basically. But that's what the new stadium project is. Premium seating. Not an expansion or anything like it. It's just more suites.
Crazy.
It is crazy. But yeah, the Kick Six Club, I think is what they're calling it. I don't know if I would want to name a club after one play.
I don't know.
It's an awesome play, man. It really is. Little brother-ish, but it is a pretty awesome play. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio. Stick with us.
From the Seabrook.Curve, your all-access pass to all things sports in Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
It comes from Mississippi and down in Alabama, creeping like a fever all across the land. From deep in the Delta on the Louisiana shore, the people got to have it. They want to hear some more. It's the hillbilly rock, beat it with a drum.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borky and Will East with you. When guests appear on the show, they do us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Also, Genteel Apparel. I'm wearing Genteel right now. If you're watching on SuperTalk TV, you see it. I'm actually doubled up at the moment. Got one of these quarter zips on, these performance quarter zips, and also a golf polo. You want to get geared up for game day. I know it's only April, but hey, you've got home baseball games coming up. They've got a collegiate collection where you can look good when you're cheering on your objectively good baseball teams. And, of course, when football season comes around, you want to look the best in the Junction and the Grove, don't you? And you also want to shop with a Mississippi company, don't you? Check them out, GentleApparel.com. They're in men's specialty clothing stores all over the state of Mississippi, or online at GENTEAL, GentleApparel.com. And they will ship to your door. We've heard from listeners that have ordered, and then it's been at their door the next day. They've got pants, they've got golf shorts, they've got polos, they've got button-ups, they've got swim trunks. I wear their hats basically every day. So check them out at Gentile Apparel. We got a screenshot from Ole Miss Rebels football something on Facebook. It's cut off a little bit, but it says, just in, Ole Miss Rebels unveil state-of-the-art $1.3 billion renovation to Vaught Hemingway Stadium, redefining college football standards with cutting-edge technology, luxury suites, and expanded seating for a world-class fan experience, with a link to sporttoday.co.uk, so you know that link is legit. And the pictures are of old stadium concepts that
that's not real.
No, and he's joking, of course, but the Facebook, hey, that not make reference to it all the time, because unfortunately you guys would be surprised how often we get asked about fake Facebook accounts posting things about Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Ran into it with Brian O'Connor removing a couple players from his team for partying instead of going to practice. You had people getting duped that a police officer was killed in the line of duty in Starkville. And that's when it crosses the line into Archie Manning died recently, according to a Facebook AI bot account. And you go look at the comments, and it's like well-meaning people that are, oh my gosh, prayers up, I'm so sorry, and that kind of thing. But it's every day. These accounts post every day, and they get people every day, and we hear about them every day. Every single day.
I guess they do it for the interaction. I don't know.
See, that's my follow-up question is, what's in it for them? I mean, are they...
Clicks, I guess.
I mean, you get people to click on a link where they get access to your Twitter account. Shout out Caleb in the newsroom.
But you can tell that it's AI. I mean, it's like...
You know it's fake, but some people don't have the...
Some people just see stuff and they just
believe it. They just see it and they believe it. Especially, when it's good news, they get duped by good news because they want it to be true. But
he said he saw one the other day that said Trump and Lamonis got into an argument on The View.
Yeah. There was one where there were protesters outside of Vaught Hemingway Stadium. It was like I forget whatever the movement was, but Lane Kiffin gave an impassioned speech outside of the stadium after a game because there were protesters that were saying something, and he shut them down with an impassioned speech. I mean, we talk about it a lot because it's every day. Brian O'Connor singing the national anthem was great, too. Yeah, there's one. Somebody says those people replying vote, too. Think about that. Well, hey, here's the thing. I vote. Sometimes you guys probably aren't really thrilled with that idea either. So, man, social media. What an interesting place. I had a anonymous Twitter account call my kid ugly because I said something about Live Golf the other day. It's like, come on, man. And all you can do is laugh because there was a guy from Germany that got in my mentions that was using a translator to get onto me about Live Golf. Which, by the way, they've admitted that they're only funded through the rest of the year. They're trying to get investors, but nobody's going to sign on to. I mean, they've lost, $6 billion in 4 years? Nobody's signing up for that. So it's they're technically still alive, but they are only being kept alive by a breathing machine. And they have, 8 more events, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So we know that now. But anyway, that was an interesting. When you wade into those waters, those bots come out of the woodwork, and it's wild how nasty and personal the live bots get when you say anything about the league at all. Come out of nowhere. They're just searching LIV and just attacking.
It's crazy.
Golf media people, the stuff that gets said about them is nuts, but oh well.
There was an AI story the other day. I don't know if you saw this. Kind of close to your neck of the woods or where you grew up. Greenville, South Carolina. A guy there decided, you know what? I think I can make music better than the current people that are making music. He created an AI singer, added music, and it went to the top of the charts on iTunes before
sad.
Apple pulled it. And it was all done through AI. It's crazy.
Somebody says, I fell for the police officer, even messaged Richard and Lance to pray for his family and hold their family in their prayer. Sorry, I cannot read. But it was shared 8 times that morning. I'm sorry, I consider myself to have pretty good discernment. No, that's where it crosses.
Yeah.
That's where it crosses the line. When you're talking about Brian O'Connor or Chris Lemonis getting in an argument with Trump on The View, I mean, that's the stupid stuff, right? That is where you can have great discernment and still see that and not think twice about it, because that, unfortunately, that is a thing that happens quite a bit. Police officers falling in the line of duty. So, I mean, that's a very believable thing. And so falling for that's not on you. It's on the fact that Facebook has not figured out how to shut those kind of things down yet. That's the real problem here, not you. The people that fall for Chris Lemonis is on The View. Maybe we should take their voting rights away. But you are different.
That's the great thing about Twitter/X is that you can ask Grok.
And it'll
say, you just say, is this real? And it'll check it for you.
Yeah. And then they have the community note right there that, boom, not true. That certainly does help. Oh, yeah. And then, gosh, there's one that's going around state circles, Will, that players are investing in hotels in town. You got baseball players fixing the hotel issue that Kenny Dillingham complained about, and they're investing in hotels around the city. Oh, man. Goodness. Yeah, I did see the conditions, Marty, at Live Mexico City. Bryson getting hot about a lie that he had after he flew the green out of a greenside bunker. That's not surprising. I mean, when you go to a Mickey Mouse event, expect Mickey Mouse conditions at the Mickey Mouse event. Speaking of conditions, saw this earlier. This is from Zach Fradella. He's a meteorologist for, I think it's Fox 8 in New Orleans. If you are spending time on the beach in Mississippi this weekend, if you're in coastal Mississippi, you're going to spend time in the beach or in the water, look out. Apparently, there's been a run of Portuguese man-o-war in the water washing up on the beaches. Now, where I grew up on the East Coast, I don't know if it's like this in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, to be honest with you. But there would be big jellies, big clear jellyfish that you could touch. You'd pick them up and, something about them being dead, they wouldn't sting you. I mean, we would play with them. We'd grab them by their big, I guess they're not heads. I don't know what you call them. The bell part of the jellyfish, we'd throw them at each other because they wouldn't hurt you. Not these. So I don't know if the other ones show up here sometimes, but they are like a beautiful blue. These Portuguese man-o-war jellyfish.
It looks like an alien.
Yeah, it really does look like it's from a different planet. But they are nasty. Our baseball coach, or the baseball coach at my high school, had one latch onto him, and he has permanent scars on his shoulder and his arm, like half an inch to an inch thick scar around his shoulder, around his arm, from he was swimming and he ran into one, and he had to go to the hospital and they had to surgically take it off of him. Like a medical professional had to remove it from his body because it latched onto him. So if you see them, they're pretty blue.
It's beautiful.
Don't touch them. Don't touch them. I have a friend that's down there right now, and in our group message, we sent this guy's tweet to him, and he said, I've seen 3 on the beach already. So they're down there. Don't let the kids touch the pretty blue jellyfish on the beach, all right? They'll get you. There's your PSA for the day. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
As I ever was.
From the Venable Glass happening in Mississippi sports, you'll hear about it first right here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Elizabeth and Ghost Shay says they hurt. Yeah, they do. I wonder if the remedy for regular jellyfish stings is the one for those as well.
Well, anything called man-o-war ain't lovey-dovey.
Is that real, by the way?
What?
The remedy for a jellyfish sting? Have you ever heard what the remedy is?
I don't know. I don't like getting peed on, so...
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think I've ever been stung by
I would rather just hurt for the rest of the day than that. You know what I mean? I'll just take the sting like a man as opposed to whatever that is.
No, it does not work. It actually may make it worse, according to the internets.
So it's just people... How do you even get there?
Some guy on a bet was like, watch, I bet I can pee on him.
Chris's note does not, did we not watch Friends? No, I honestly have no idea what that reference is. They must have tackled that in Friends, I suppose. I don't know. But I wonder that sometimes, because everybody had to be the first, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had to be the first. Like putting aspirin in your laundry. People do that.
What does that do for your laundry?
I think it helps, like with odor and stuff. Like it helps keep a fresh... So who was the first person that put aspirin, or like was it in your pocket on accident and you smelled it and were like, oh, that worked, and you kept trying? And the same thing with mushrooms. Somebody had to be first. And who went first? Was it like the village idiot that was...
Yeah. Get it right to try. Yeah, he'll try anything.
I mean, how many people had to die before we figured out what... Because it couldn't have been the pioneers, right? The people that are written about in history books, they didn't eat the first mushrooms. So did they have, like, lesser people that they made do it? Or did the leader do it first, and then the position was assumed by the next guy?
All right, everybody on 3 will bite into it and see who...
The worst game of roulette ever.
Do what?
The worst game of roulette ever. Same thing with, what is it, coral snakes and milk snakes? The red red next to black, you're okay, Jack. Red next to yellow, you're a dead fellow.
I'm not sticking around long enough to figure out
something like that. But the patterns are basically identical, but the same colors, same size snake, everything, but the color pattern is different on one versus the other. But somebody had to figure that out. And one of them's deadly, and one of them it can bite you all day, and it doesn't matter.
I mean,
somebody had to figure that out.
There are some foods that I go, why would anybody eat? They just...
Okay, see, now we have contradicting statements on the text line. This is what happens. You guys get mad at Haydad and I for being wrong. Well, look at you guys. Half of the text line is saying, yeah, actually it does work because of ammonia. The other half is saying, no, it doesn't work at all. Apparently hot water works. Folks at Baylor came up with the aspirin and laundry trick. There you go.
You know what? You're right. The Brown University, an Ivy League school, says urinating on a jellyfish sting will help. But other places say that it does not. No, they said it's wrong. Sorry, I read that wrong. False. It will not. I'm going to assume that it does not work.
Red touch black, friend of Jack, red touch yellow, kill a fellow. There you go. So it's a... Somebody had to be first. Oh, man. 601-879-4395. We are Sports Talk Mississippi most of the time anyway. Somebody also said that there was a one of those Facebook articles that I'm trying to find the text that it completely escaped me. The Brian O'Connor singing the national anthem. What? I lost it. I must have deleted it. Sorry about that. Completely deleted it. But anyway, yes, don't fall for Facebook AI articles. They will get you. And also, I don't know if you caught the reference earlier, Will. Did you see that Caleb in the newsroom got on Twitter?
He did? How did he get got?
Somebody hacked his account and was bragging about the AI, or not AI, crypto, and how he bought a brand new truck thanks to his winnings on crypto. And here's a link to where you can buy crypto too. Poor guy. He got got by the crypto bots somehow. Sports Talk Mississippi. Again, most of the time anyway. Your college football fix is next. Ole Miss and Tennessee coming up here in about 30 minutes from right now. We're in the Pearl River Resort Studio. Stick with us.
Multiple elevators. I put a big highlight on that one because we've been coming here for years where you had to drag your equipment up these steps. But they do have elevators now. They got programmable LED and stadium lighting as well. They've done a lot of stuff. They've upgraded the concession stands, their main concourse area behind home plate. And then a year ago, they did some permanent net system work and added a right field student section, a brand new sound system as well. So it's absolutely gorgeous. You look at the dimensions. It's 390 to center, 385 in left center. It takes a poke to get it out left center, but down the left field line's only 320, down the right field line's only 320. And Hindu, that right center alleyway is only 365.
Yeah, you can get it out of here in a hurry that way. And obviously, it'll be twofold tonight. We'll talk about the pitchers, but Ole Miss will go left-handed heavy. And you think if they got a shot from basically right center over, you got a real chance to get the ball out of here at NZ Nelson.
You know, another thing they've done is nearly double their attendance capability to 8,012 here at this facility. The wall in center field is 10.5 feet tall as well. Ole Miss comes in ranked as high as 22nd nationally, ranked in all 5 polls at 27-11, 8-7 in the SEC. Mike Bianco in his 26th year has won 976 games. The Tennessee Volunteers come in 25-12. They're only a game behind Ole Miss in a league at 7-8. Josh Elander in his first year as the head coach, where the Vols are not ranked despite sweeping State last weekend. Ole Miss is currently on a 6-game winning streak, and the Rebels have won 8 of their last 9. So, boy, playing well as of late, doing a good job, and both teams have kind of turned the corner a little bit. Now we'll have to go against each other head-to-head. Ole Miss leads the overall series 52-47-1, and here in Knoxville, Ole Miss leads the games played 23-21. I thought we'd take a quick just flashback of the first half, Brad. Ole Miss went to Texas, won the first game, then lost the backside, took 2 of 3 from Kentucky at home, got swept by State at home, went to Florida and took 2 of 3 from the Gators, and they're one of the hottest teams in the league right now, and then swept LSU last weekend. Tennessee opened with Georgia. They won the first game in Athens and then lost the next 2. They hosted Missouri, lost the first one, then won 2 and won that series, then went to Vanderbilt and got swept. Hosted LSU here and lost 2 of 3. And then last weekend, they go to Stark Starkville and sweep Mississippi State. There's some weirdness in those two schedules.
Yeah, there is, David, but it just shows you the parity in this league and how you've got to grind it out every single baseball game. You can't take a day off and expect to win in this league. But like you talked about, Ole Miss has won 6 in a row. Tennessee has won 5 games in a row. Both teams, a lot of momentum coming into this weekend.
Tennessee was really clutch against Mississippi State. Hindu offensively. They scored 9 of their 19 runs with 2 outs. So got some real clutch hitting going on. They hit 342, 13 of 32 in 2 outs in that series.
Yeah, timely hitting wins a lot of ball games, and we're going to see, I think, and it's a broken record, right? You're going to see a lot of really good pitching this weekend, and timely hitting has been a key, and obviously they were able to do that in a tough environment there at Duty Noble, so you know they're trying to ride that wave of momentum against this really good Ole Miss pitching staff.
Yeah, and when you look at our pitching staff, 432 strikeouts, second most in the SEC, fifth most in the nation. Strikeouts per 9 inning are 11.8, the second highest in the SEC, and ERA's at 3.70, the fourth best in the SEC. And I think the key, kind of different from Tennessee, what Ole Miss did last weekend was the starters, all 3, got to 6 innings and got quality starts against LSU, Elliott, Townsend, and Raven. We hadn't done that since 2019.
Yeah, that was huge, right? And it saves your bullpen, and it allowed Hudson Calhoun to only have to throw a couple of times, once in game 1, once in game 3, and then Walker Hooks as well has been absolutely terrific on the back end.
So what's the key this weekend?
Again, it's pitching. How hard can we ride those starters, and how deep can they get into the game? Obviously, defensively, we played a lot better as of late, and then the timely hitting. I think that's what it's going to come down to for both teams. We'll dive into the numbers, but I mean, they're almost identical, DK. They're hitting 268 as a team. We're hitting 265. They're a 3.93 ERA. We're a 3.7 ERA. They've got 57 homers. We got 58 homers. So, it's two teams that are awfully similar as far as the numbers go.
The word similar has been used all throughout the press box. Everybody I've talked to in Tennessee and all the Ole Miss people are saying the exact same thing. So we'll see. We'll play it on the field and see who can get this series. Hey, don't forget, too, Rebel stolen bases in the game are presented by Wade Incorporated, who's been serving Mississippi as your John Deere dealer since 1909 with 14 locations to choose from. Be sure to visit your nearest Wade Incorporated dealership for all of your lawn, small, and large tractor needs. When it comes time to choose, remember, nothing runs like a Deere. When we come back, we'll have a look at the pitching matchup and the rest of the SEC as Dave will join us on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
The right field terrace isn't just a place, it's a vibe where the red and blue roar among home run showers, sending opponents into delirium and bringing the energy to Swayze Field. This Ole Miss tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Rebels, only at your Mississippi Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Whether it is before you head to Swayze to watch our Rebs play or after the game celebrating a Rebel win, Funky's Oxford is where you want to be this baseball season. With 18 daiquiri machines, an expansive liquor selection, and Oxford's favorite pizza, Funky's is the place to bring your friends, family, and Fido. Rebels play away? We've got you taken care of with full coverage of the Road Rebs on our 15 TVs. From Oxford to Omaha, come hang out at Funky's to make the most of your baseball season.
Hitting them long and touching them all.
Yes, sir, baby. That ball is out of here.
This is Ole Miss Baseball from Learfield.
My doctor's office is awesome. It's where we go when I have a fever or get hurt. Mom says it's so close.
Trust Care Kids is every kid's favorite pediatric clinic. Our caring staff is here for everything from colds and ear infections to routine checkups. Plus, our clinics are kid-approved, packed with interactive games your kids will love. Open late and weekends, too.
There's a new kid on the block.
Trust Care Kids. Get care faster. We're not kidding.
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet is Mississippi's largest General Motors business elite dealer. We make it easy to maintain your fleet with over 100 work-ready vehicles available for your job site. Diesel, gas, trucks, vans, and service bodies. And we build to your business specifications. It really is easier with Rogers Dabbs Fleet. Call the Rogers Dabbs Business Elite Fleet Team today at 866-671-4226 or visit us online at rogersdabbs.com. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet. Find new roads.
To you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
welcome you back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. Mike Bianco meeting with his team in left field right now. The balls are gathering in right field. It's funny how everything kind of falls in place with your timing. We're going to see about some pitching. That's our timing. Next, Brad Henderson's pitching diagnosis is brought to you by St. Dominic Hospital. Know your own vital stats with the online heart risk assessment. Visit stdom.com/healthyheart to get started. And, Brad, we're going to see Landon Mack for Tennessee, the sophomore right-hander, 6'1", 212 from Columbus, New Jersey. Went to Bishop Eustacia High School. He also is a transfer from Rutgers. In 25, he was Baseball America freshman, All-American second team, and is also Big Ten All-Freshman at Rutgers as well. He led the Scarlet Knights with a 6-5 record and 4.03 ERA in 15 starts, 80 innings and 70 strikeouts and just 17 walks. All of that as a true freshman. So now he's spending his sophomore year here in Knoxville. In high school, he was the 7th overall prospect in New Jersey by perfect game. First team All-State. Had a 0.55 ERA in high school and was just outstanding in New Jersey. 4th in New Jersey with 9 home runs as a two-way player as well. So far, he's got a win against Nichols, a loss to Kent State, wins over Arizona State and Wright State, lost to Georgia, and that was on March 14th. No decisions since then. He's 3-2 with a 3.75 ERA. But he's had a couple of double-digit strikeout games, 11 against Kent State. 2 games ago against LSU, he had 10. Last week at State, he lasted 4 innings, which was his shortest outing. 6 hits, 3 runs earned, 6 strikeouts, no walks. Gave up a couple of home runs, though. But he's gone over 90 pitches. Hadn't hit 100 yet, Brad, but over 90 6 times.
Yeah, he's a power right-hander, David. He's going to stay with the power pitches is Landon Mack. The fastball, 95 to 98. It's been up to 100 for the right-hander. Going to throw a cutter, rely heavily. That's probably his best pitch, be in the mid-80s or upper 80s. He's got a curveball and changeup as well. He really doesn't use those very often. Interesting note in league play, DK's 4.97 ERA. You mentioned it. His only decision was that loss to Georgia. He's thrown 25 in the third innings, 8 walkouts, 34 strikeouts, which is a big number for 25 in the third innings. But opponents are hitting .311 against him in league play. Left-handers are hitting .321 against him. So we're going to stack the lineup with a bunch of
7 or 8, don't we?
With several left-handers tonight.
Yeah. Hunter Elliott's going for us, Brad, 6'3", 215, the redshirt junior from Tupelo, Mississippi. Of course, his sophomore year last year, he led the team with 10 wins, 102 strikeouts, became just the 5th pitcher in Ole Miss history to accomplish that. He led the nation in pickoffs at first base with 13 a year ago. He did pitch in Game 1 in Knoxville, or in Oxford, rather, last year. We lost it 3-2. He went 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, and took that loss. He also pitched in Game 2 in relief against Tennessee in 2022 as a freshman. He lost that one 10-3. 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts, and a wild pitch and 3 walks. Of course, he went to Tupelo. This year is what matters, right? 11 strikeouts for a high this year against Baylor. And he's got a win over Nevada, a win over Evansville, a win over Kentucky. He took a loss at Florida 2 weeks ago, and that was his highest pitched game, 102. So he's 3-1 with a 3.69 ERA. Last week it's LSU, Brad.
It's 2012 when they were members of the Big 12. Oklahoma ended up getting the sweep in Norman that weekend, trying to turn the trick again as they get things started at 6:30. And Alabama and Texas meeting up for only the 13th time ever, first time as SEC opponents. The last time they matched up was in 2022 in the non-conference series. Texas got the sweep in Austin. They're playing in Austin this weekend as the Crimson Tide, number 11 in the country, Texas at number 4, DK.
And Georgia leads the league at 11-5 despite the loss. Only team to get to 30 overall wins at this point. Texas and Texas A&M are tied at 9-5. As you know, the 9-5, but Texas A&M has the tiebreaker. Florida's 4th, Arkansas's 5th. Ole Miss, Auburn, and Alabama are tied for 6th at 8-7. You got Auburn at 8th. Kentucky, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Vandy, and State are all tied for 9th. LSU 14, South Carolina 15, and Missouri is 16. Josh Elander is the head coach for the Tennessee Vols in his first year. He'll go against Ole Miss for the first time as a head coach. Mike Bianco in his 26th year, the head coach for Ole Miss, is 31-26 against UT, and we'll hear from him next on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell, but it's nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. If you think you smell, see, or hear signs of a leak, don't do anything that might cause a spark. Leave immediately. Then call 911 and Atmos Energy. There's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Ole Miss pride. When I'm carrying the Ole Miss Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Ole Miss gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra hottie toddy from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Rebels to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Play ball.
Swing and a miss! He struck him out!
This is Ole Miss baseball from Learfield.
In life and in business, one thing is certain. Change. That's why Pilium Corporation is ready to keep you ahead of the curve on ever-evolving technology, critical for your company's security and growth. To that end, the Pilium team offers IT support and security and forensics, plus cloud services and networking, mobile communications, body cams, in-car video systems, and real-time crime center technology. PILEUM.com. Smart people, smart business, smart solutions.
We've sent that Rip Van Winkle guy to the dentist.
Hey, what? Hey, what?
And what's worse than a trip to the dentist? Your wife's paint project that you've put off. Let Seabrook Paint in Jackson and Ridgeland find that Benjamin Moore paint and a contractor that will get you back doing the important things in life, like grilling and watching sports. Seabrook, Benjamin Moore Paint, and a happy wife, happy life. Seabrook Paint in Jackson on Monument and in Ridgeland on West Jackson.
First down. The Ole Miss Dugout Show continues with the head coach of Rebel Baseball, Mike Bianco, presented by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. Once again, here's David Callum.
Welcome back to Knoxville. We got Rebel head coach Mike Bianco indeed, and we're looking forward to Ole Miss and Tennessee. And, Coach, these two programs coming off huge weekends last weekend.
No doubt about it. Obviously, we've talked a lot about our weekend, but, theirs might be a little bit better because it was on the road, against a really good state team and, state team that, was just a few weeks ago in our place and kind of kicked us in the gut a little bit. So, very similar to us statistically, record-wise, a lot of different things. So a big challenge in front of us.
Last weekend, you got all through your rotation to go 6 innings. That's huge in a weekend. I know you love to do that every weekend.
Without a doubt. I mean, if you get through 6 innings with your guys, that's pretty special. And no doubt about it. But it's a group that we feel very confident in, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again. But also that it's kind of rare in the SEC for all three of them to do it. And so we'll stay tonight and hope that Hunter Elliott can get us, deep into the game, and that's what the hope is.
Coach, how big has Federico and Payno been for you over the last few weeks?
Huge. I think one of the things we've talked about offensively is some of our struggles has been in the second half of that lineup. The guys in the top have swung it pretty well, but we haven't gotten a lot from the bottom half, and really the last 2 weeks the bottom half has been real good.
And we hope they'll continue that here tonight. Hey, we wish you the very best. Looking forward to it. Ole Miss, Tennessee.
Thanks, DK.
Rebels and the Vols. We'll continue their pregame show shortly on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Hey, Rebel fans. For more than 50 years, Mississippi Asthma and Allergies board-certified team of allergists has treated patients by identifying triggers and creating personalized treatment plans. Now with 8 convenient locations across Mississippi, including Oxford, we're right next door when you need us. Treating infants to adults and Ole Miss students. Find our clinic nearest you at msaac.com. Mississippi Asthma and Allergy, helping Mississippi live life to the fullest and allergy-free.
Ole Miss baseball returns after a word from your local station. This is the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey guys, this is Schaefer Davidson and my wife Lori, owners of Davidson Marble and Granite of Canton, Vicksburg, and McGee. We also have Davidson Monument Company of Forest and Kosciuszko, as well as Central Mississippi Monument Company of Carthage and Louisville.
We offer a variety of granite, marble, and bronze headstones. We are back to pre-pandemic lead times with gray granite running approximately 2 to 3 months.
We are a third-generation family-owned business serving Mississippi since 1937. Check us out on Facebook or at DavidsonMarbleandGranite.com.
You already know that Madison Cellars is Madison's favorite place to buy wine and spirits since 1988. On Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center, Madison Cellars has a hometown feel with a big city selection. Do you have a question about which wine to serve with a certain dish? Call 601-856-0931 and let their knowledgeable staff help you find the perfect match. Find out more at MadisonCellars.net or stop by today. Madison Cellars on Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center.
Welcome back to the Ole Miss Dugout Show. It's time now for today's starting lineups, brought to you by Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Rebels and Vols getting set to start a 3-game series on Rocky Top. Here is the Ole Miss starting lineup for today's ball game. Dom Decker leading off is at second base. Tristan Picetta, the right fielder, is batting second. Judd Utermark at third base hits third. Will Furness in the cleanup spot at first base. Hedden Federico bats fifth in center field. Owen Pano's the DH batting sixth. Braden Randall's the shortstop hitting seventh. Austin Foley, the catcher, hits eighth. Cannon Golden is batting ninth in left field with Hunter Elliott on the mound for the Rebs. He'll be countered by Landon Mack for Tennessee, and we'll have the Vols defensive alignment and the first pitch next on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Today's starting lineups have been brought to you by Atmos Energy, your natural gas company. The first pitch is coming your way next as Ole Miss baseball continues right after these messages.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Ole Miss baseball lives here.
Swung on, hit deep to right field, toward the wall, toward the foul pole. It is gone!
On the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield.
When love requires a gift, nothing says it better than Albritton's. Since 1920, we've been part of your family. From weddings and anniversaries to holidays, we've been there for every special occasion. At Albritton's, we value your trust. Every gift, whether large or small, is a reflection of our commitment to quality and excellence. There's a reason we're still Mississippi's foremost diamond merchant. Let us show you why. Albritton's Jewelry, 4460 Old Canton Road in Jackson.
Albritton's Jewelers.
Jack Hoffman here with Tico Steakhouse. At Tico Steakhouse, tradition is always on the menu, and now that tradition lives in 2 locations. Ridgeland off County Line Road and in Oxford on the Square. Known for the finest cuts of meat, the perfect sear, and hospitality that feels like home, Tico's is where memories are made every day. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion, hosting a big game win, or even simply enjoying a great meal with friends and family, Tico Steakhouse is the place. Come taste the legacy, savor the tradition.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Toddy.
Do you remember Omaha, baby?
This is Ole Miss baseball.
And you can forget it because it's out of here. Showers in the outfield.
That was a rob job.
A towering shot to the wall. Back to back to back. That's first double play. And the Rebels are out of the inning. Strike 3 called. He got him on a high fastball. And the Ole Miss Rebels are your national champions.
It's time to play ball. Today's play-by-play coverage of Ole Miss baseball is brought to you by C Spire, official wireless provider of Ole Miss athletics. Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. By Ford, Mississippi Ford dealers and the Ford F-150, official truck of the Ole Miss Rebels. And by Regions, official bank of the SEC. Once again, here's the voice of the Rebels, David Kellum.
And indeed, welcome back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Ole Miss and Tennessee about to get after. There's a throwdown. We're going to play some baseball. He'll live out there if you chase that. 0-1 to Udemart. And a pitch. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Udemart hit his career 4th homer in Game 3 here in Knoxville in 2024 that we lost 15-4. He went 2 for 5 in Game 3 in Oxford last year that we lost 10-8 with a double, a single, a sac fly, and 2 ribbies. His 2 positive games in this series. 0-2 to Udemart. And swung on, lifted to left field. Left fielder Brown drifting back. He's going to make the catch a few steps into the warning track. Didn't quite get all of that, and Becerra goes back to first base, 1 down. Even though he didn't get it all, he hit it to the warning track.
Yeah, he did, David. Just off the end of the bat, just a little bit, kind of a hanging cutter. He didn't miss it by much.
Top of the first, no score, 2 down. Here's Will Furness, the Ole Miss first baseman, is hitting .326. 2 homers and 31 RBIs. He's currently 2nd on the team in overall hitting. From the stretch, the right-hander Mack delivers to Furness. Low for ball 1. Furness is one of the few players that goes back to 24. Last time we were here, he went 2 for 2 with 2 doubles in Game 1 in Knoxville in 2024. 1 ball, no strikes to Furness. Low inside, breaking ball for ball 2. 83 on that pitch. Becerra with a lead at first base. 2 balls, no strikes to Will Furness. Second baseman playing him way out in the outfield grass. No shift, but the second baseman's way back. Throw to first. Becerra just got back in there. That was close. He got tagged in the face pretty hard, right in the nose. By the pitcher, by the first baseman, Grimmer.
Pretty good move, wasn't it? Quick feet.
Yeah. The 2-0 to Furness. Swing and a miss. Well, he had a hitter's count. He was looking for a fastball. He got it at 95, but just swung right through it, missed it.
Pulled off just a little bit, PK.
2 balls and a strike to Will Furness. And a pitch. Swung on, lifted down the left field side toward the pole. Brown on the run at the wall. Foul ball. He knocked it out of the yard the opposite way. It went foul. What, 20 feet maybe, Brad?
Maybe. Boy, maybe. We got a tough angle.
The long strike.
Wow. It's hard to tell from here, but no argument from Mike Clement. Had a pretty good view, as well as the third base umpire, Clayton Harmon.
That's nearly an oppo homer for Furness.
Clayton Ham. My penmanship's not very good.
Clayton Ham.
Yeah, I said Harmon because I can't write.
Oh, okay. Runner first, 2 down, 2-2 to Furness. Had a huge weekend last weekend against LSU. Went 6 for 10. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Now one's popped up foul third base and headed to the stands. Everybody on the first base side's in the shade. Very pleasant. Everybody on third base side's in that 80-degree temperature, but it's going to drop and get much cooler here in the next hour. Well, we're making him work, Brad.
Yeah, he's on quite a few pitches already, DK. That's a plus here in this first inning. See if Will can extend the inning right here.
2-2 to Furness. And a pitch. Just missed outside. Full count to Will Furness. Fans wanted strike 3 called on that one.
Mac did as well. It's that same pitch he threw to Tristan Becerra on a 3-2 count. Didn't get the call.
Full count to Furness. And a pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 96 fastball, outer edge. The pitcher's mouthing at the home plate umpire. So he wanted that other one to be a strike. I think it definitely missed, but he gets the swing and a miss for the strikeout, and that will end the inning. And that's the first strikeout for Landon Mack. Here in the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left for the Rebels. Bottom of the first coming up on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Ole Miss fans, college baseball is here. So grab a cold, refreshing Dos Equis lager to watch your team hit it out of the park. Whether you're at the bar with fellow Ole Miss fans or watching with your friend who went to that other school, Dos Equis is there for it all. Hotty toddy. Stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, official corporate sponsor of the Ole Miss Rebels. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2025, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Ole Miss pride. When I'm carrying the Ole Miss Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Ole Miss gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra hottie toddy from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Rebels to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
We head to the bottom half of the first inning. No score with Ole Miss and Tennessee. We'll see Garrett Wright, Reese Chapman, and Henry Ford going first for the Tennessee Vols. The Rebels defensively have Golden left, Federico in center, Becerra in right, Udemark at third, Randall at short, Decker at second, Furness at first base, Foley catching with Elliott on the hill. He'll take his warm-ups. The third base coach is Craig Bell for Tennessee. The first base coach is Ross Kivett. It's always a good time for Big Fly. Nicholas Air sponsors home runs all season. The exclusive aviation partner, the Ole Miss Rebels. The next time you fly, hit it out of the park with Nicholas Air. Visit nicholasair.com. Garrett Wright is the leading hitter on this Tennessee team at 348. 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in, and he'll go first for the Vols. And he's having a super year at the plate. Garrett Wright bats and throws right-handed. The center fielders from Massillon, Ohio, and a transfer from Bowling Green. The number 2 hitter is Reese Chapman, the right fielder. Senior that bats left, throws right, from Parker, Colorado. Hitting third is Henry Ford. That's true, Henry Ford, third baseman, right-handed hitter. He's a junior from Charlottesville, Virginia, transfer from the University of Virginia. Hitting cleanup is Blake Grimmer, the first baseman, a sophomore, bats left, throws right, from Spring Lake, Michigan. First pitch swung on, hit sharply, 1 hopper to Randall at short. He's got it, throws to first, and just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out. Gotta like that if you're Hunter Elliott, as Wright bounces out. And now you got Reese Chapman, the right fielder, hitting .294, 4 homers and 22 RBIs.
Barreled it up pretty nicely, though, David.
Sure did.
Right to Randall at short.
Fifth hole hitter is Trent Reinlinger, the DH, of freshman. Right-hand hitter from Huntington Beach, California. 6 for Tennessee is Blaine Brown, their left fielder. He bats and throws left-handed. A sophomore from Houston, Texas, transfer from Rice. This pitch is up and in for ball 1 to Chapman. 7th is Manny Marin, the shortstop for Tennessee. He's a sophomore right-handed hitter from Hialeah, Florida. Batting 8th is Levi Clark, the catcher, sophomore right-handed hitter from Marietta, Georgia. The 1-0. That one's in there for a strike, and a count 1-1. And batting 9th is Jay Abernathy, the second baseman for the Vols. He's a sophomore left-handed hitter from Ackworth, Georgia. Of course, on the mound to face him is Hunter Elliott. 3-1, 3.69 ERA. Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, he fooled him on a breaking ball away. Tried to pull that and couldn't reach it.
A good slider right there. You know Josh Elander, who is a hitting guy, told his guys, got to look change up. Hunter got him there with the slider. It's a good pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Chapman. Kicks and delivers. Threw it to him again. He fouls it up the first base side. Count stays 1-2. So you've got Golden in left, Federico in center, Becerra in right, Udemark at third, Randall at short, Decker at second, Furness at first, Fawley catching, and Elliott on the hill. First time we've seen Hunter Elliott in red in like forever, right? The 1-2 to Chapman. Swung on deep to right field. A hanging breaking ball is gone, and Tennessee leads 1-0. Chapman with his 5th home run of the year.
He stayed with that slider. That one, hang me, bang me, though, right down Broadway.
Well, he looked real bad on the previous one, but not on that one. He got all of it, and Tennessee strikes first on the weekend. A 1-out home run brings up Henry Ford, the third baseman. Ford is a right-handed hitter, leads Tennessee. 11 homers and 34 RBIs. He's hitting .295. So this big crowd, something to yell about early. Solo homer for Chapman. That was a no-doubter. Pitch outside for ball 1. You know, sometimes you feel like the park is conducive for home runs, and this one definitely is, especially the right field porch, where there was nothing cheesy about that one. The 1-0 to Ford. Strike on the inner edge, and the count is 1-1. Henry Ford leads the Vols with 12 multiple hit games and 11 multiple RBI games. He's their guy in that category. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ford, and the pitch. Fouled it away for strike 2. He was named to the Golden Spikes midseason watch list this past week. Inning goes on.
It's the 8th time Hunter Elliott has hit someone this season.
Grindlinger rubbing it a little bit, but he's all right. So first and second with 2 down for Blaine Brown. But now Coach Mangum's going to go out and visit with Hunter Elliott. They're going to have a little discussion. Blaine Brown, the left fielder for Tennessee, has 9 homers, 29 RBIs. He's second on the team. In both of those stats, he has a .245 batting average. Leads the team in SEC play with 4 homers in league action. His second career grand slam was against LSU here 2 weeks ago. And he'll be up with runners at first and second and 2 down. He's a two-way player, Brown is. He also pitches midweek games and been named to the John Olerud two-way player watch list, in fact. He's the only player on the Tennessee team also to have started every single game, including tonight. And this will be lefty on lefty, Brad. Need to get him.
Yeah, the pitch count 5 for Hunter. He's only had 18, but obviously in a little bit of a jam right here with 2 outs.
Got a shift with 3 infielders on the first base side for the left-hand hitting Blaine Brown. Lefty on lefty as Elliott checks his runner at second base. Kicks and delivers. Missed away for ball 1. So you have Grimmer at second base. And Grindlinger at first base. Lefty ready. Checks his runner and delivers. And that one hit deep to right down the line. If it's a fair ball, it's a 3-run homer. It's going to go foul just a little bit. Man, he smoked that out of the park, but it went right of the foul pole just a hair, and the count 1-1 to Brown. Brown toying with his 5th home run in SEC play.
That didn't miss by much either. Will Furness just missed a 2-run homer in the top half of this inning. Brown just missing a 3-run homer.
Outside of center field and left center field, this park, the ball jumps. We've seen it for years. 1-1 to Brown. Here's his pitch. That misses low and away for ball 2. 2-1 to Blaine Brown. 80 on that breaking ball. Ground out, home run by Chapman, pop out, single hit batter, and a 2-1 to Brown. With 2 away and 2 on. Elliott checks the runner and delivers. That one's hit sharply up the first base side. That was 108 off the bat, Bray. Early, though.
Yeah, got a changeup. Got him out front. Got the first base coach, Ross Kivett, down there on some skates, didn't he?
He a little pirouette for Coach Kivett. Two to Brown. Elliott doesn't check the runner, just delivers, and strike 3 called. Just nailed the outer edge, got him looking, and that'll end the frame. He didn't like it, but that'll be the first strikeout for Hunter Elliott. So to keep it to just 1 is good after they got a couple of men on. Strikeouts throughout the game by Ole Miss pitchers are brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. New home and auto rates, same great service. Farm Bureau. Go with the home team. 1 run. 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left for Tennessee in the bottom of the first. Solo homer by Reese Chapman puts the Vols on top 1-0. This is Rebel Baseball from Learfield.
My doctor's office is awesome. It's where we go when I have a fever or get hurt. Mom says it's so close.
Trust Care Kids is every kid's favorite pediatric clinic. Our caring staff is here for everything from colds and ear infections to routine checkups. Plus, our clinics are kid approved, packed with interactive games your kids will love. Open late and weekends, too.
There's a new kid on the block.
Trust Care Kids. Get care faster. We're not kidding.
In life and in business, one thing is certain. Change. That's why Pilium Corporation is ready to keep you ahead of the curve on ever-evolving technology, critical for your company's security and growth. To that end, the Pilium team offers IT support and security and forensics, plus cloud services and networking, mobile communications, body cams, in-car video systems, and real-time crime center technology. Pileum.com. Smart people, smart business, smart solutions.
So we head to the top half of the second inning. Tennessee leading Ole Miss 1-0. We'll see Federico, Pano, and Randall for the Rebels. Bold futures begin at the University of Mississippi, from nationally recognized academics to research that is shaping our state's future. Ole Miss is where passion meets purpose. Ready to join the legacy? Visit olemiss.edu. Hayden Federico, center fielder, .284 average. No homers and 13 runs batted in. Man, has he been hot. He'll bat left-handed against the right-handed pitcher. He's a switch hitter. Mack returns to the hill. Looks in, has the signal. Kicks and delivers his first pitch. Drops it in there for a strike 1 to Federico. Federico, 12 for his last 21 at the plate in the last 9 games. He's hitting .571. Also has 8 walks and 3 hit by pitches in that stretch for an on-base percentage of .676. Ground ball foul at the first base side. And count 0-2 to Federico. He has struck out only once in those 9 games as well. I mean, he is. Talk about flipping the switch. He just went in the room and said, okay, I've had enough. Boom.
And he's handled them all.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.